Welcome, everyone. My name is John Parker, and I'm the proud superintendent of the Central Valley School District. We want to kind of run through a scenario because we want to make it very clear on exactly how this all works. So what I'm going to propose to you is a fictitious scenario where we have a school district like Central Valley, and let's just suppose we put to voters a $500 levy like you see on the screen here for 500 bucks. And let's assume, for example, that we had 4 homes, each valued at $400,000. That would mean that each of the 4 homes, because they have the same assessed value, would pay the same tax or levy of $125 to meet that voter approved $500. So what would happen if the tax assessed values went up 20%? And this is very important that we want to make sure we're clear with all of our Central Valley School District community. If we go to the next slide, what if we went up 20%? So $80,000 on each of those homes. We want to point out that the levy amount that was voter approved did not change. And we still only for the levy only collect $125 for each of those 4 homes in this fictitious scenario. So we want to let you know that. You may say, well, wait a minute, the county is collecting 20 additional percent. We want to clarify that that money doesn't go directly to any school district. Central Valley School District, it doesn't go to any of the districts out there. This is money the county collects and has some accountability for those funds to go elsewhere, whether they're local, state, or wherever. We may end up seeing some of that money come back around indirectly, but it does not go directly to the schools. And we wanted to make sure that we were very clear. Now, the last point that we want to raise: what happens if we build a new house in this fictitious scenario that we have? So instead of 4, instead of 4 homes, let's say we have 5. If you look on the screen, that same levy amount now, the tax burden is spread not amongst 4 property owners, but 5. And so the taxes went down, or the tax rate went down specifically, but the taxes went down. Notice that they all still are at 480,000. And this drop in the taxes has been precisely what's been going on over the last 3 years. When we originally went to voters in 2021 for a $2.40 per thousand assessed value down to $1.91, this is why it's gone down. And this is an incredible metric for us to see. Look, we have tremendous growth. People want to be here. The Central Valley School District is a destination community that people want to raise their families and bring their kids to get educated in Central Valley schools. So that growth measure, we know it's still happening. It may be a little slower right now, simply because of the inflation that we're seeing and some of the economic slowdown and the trends that we see nationwide and locally. But we also know that there still continues to be a lot of growth in the eastern side of the school district and down in the southern areas, and especially out in the Ponderosa area. We have a lot more growth coming. I want to spend some time on this slide. This one is very important to me as your superintendent. It's also very important from our school board, because once again, I want to go back to the fact that we understand that this is an ask for our community, but we really want you to give strong consideration to the support of schools, because these 2 levy measures are going to take us and propel us forward over the next several years with some of these asks. Let's take a look at this. First of all, we wanted to go ahead and do a sample calculation of what the costs were going to be. We're not placing any value judgment on whether this is high, whether this is low, but rather we wanted you to be anchored in your understanding of what it would be or the cost would be for a median home value that is currently in Central Valley School District, according to Zillow, and that is for $400,000 home, a little less than that. And we want to walk through with you what that calculation would be. The current rate, this is independent of the two levy measures. Currently, everyone in our school districts is paying a levy rate of $2.99. And as you can see, that's the culmination of $1.91 for the EP&O from 3 years ago and $1.08 from the 2015 and the 2018 bond measure. So notice that together adds up to a $2.99 per $1,000 assessed. That means currently taxpayers are paying just under $1,200 a year. And notice that the monthly tax is just under $100 a month. That's currently. Upon passage of both measures, that same property owner would be looking at a levy rate of $3.78 or 39 cents from the capital, 240 for the EP&O, and look at how the bond number dropped. This is due to a couple of reasons, but most specifically, when we talk about that distribution of tax burden, as well as we're going to see what we can do with our debt service fund to also see what we can do to drop that amount. You're also going to notice that the cost of that would rise $316 per year to $1,512 or $126 a month to help support the schools through the levy passage. So just see there that the $26.33 is what we are looking at for a cost per month above what that homeowner would be currently paying. And I want to also share with you in our conversations with the Spokane Valley Chamber of Commerce, I had some conversations with the fire commissioner who ran a levy, and they really shared with us that having a levy calculator so that people could go on and determine what the cost was going to estimate was going to be for their taxes. And we have done that. We have put forth a calculator on our website so people can check that. And at the end, we'll go to that site so you can see exactly where that's located. Our last slide this evening, or I believe it's our last slide, we want to give you an idea of the school tax rate history. What have our community been paying over the last several years? You're going to see in front of you the 378 and that flat line. You're going to see the 99 cents plus the 39 for the capital levy as well, and the technology levy as well as the 240. But we want to draw your attention. This tax rate is not necessarily the lowest and it's not necessarily the highest. But what we want to do is we want to establish a sustainable path so that we have the capacity, should future building need to occur, that we have a tax rate that we could keep steady, even though if we had to run a bond measure in the future, we could do so. We also want to draw your attention to when a measure is put forth to our voters. You'll notice several times after it's put forth that it drops, just as I was sharing about that tax burden distribution. So we just wanted to show you a little bit of the tax history. And is there the chance that the $3.78 stays flat? Absolutely. But it also might drop again if we continue to see the growth in Spokane Valley and Liberty Lake. So in the next slide, we're going to open it up to questions, but before I do, I'm going to ask our support team who's helping run this if they have a chance to show our website, because I would love to just take a moment and show you what's on our website so everyone sees all the other additional supporting documents that we have. Great, thank you very much. I just want to thank our team for helping out. So when you take a look here, you're going to notice that the same presentation is that I gave you tonight is here. Also, if you're going to notice a ton of additional information, but let's stop, go up a little farther on the screen, and you're going to see right there the levy assessment calculator. And if you click on that, you'll see information about what you can do to go see what your assessed value is. We also know that people on fixed income, they may have an exemption, and we want to describe that for our individuals that have that fixed income, or seniors or people with disabilities. But this is where you can put in your amount and actually calculate exactly what your taxes would be. So we just wanted to give you a chance and show you that. A lot more information on our website. And if we can go back to the slide on the questions, I just want, once again, I want to show everybody what the website is that they can go to. There it is, www.cvsd.org/levy.